Anybody who's I rode the subway for years until it became unsafe. I've been in that situation, and what everybody does is essentially try to mind their own business or get off the train. And then luckily I've never been in a situation where it gets that violent. But this feels like a Bernie Getz moment where everybody goes, okay, we're hitting the bottom here. This is bad. Permission to rant.
Sure.
Anyone accusing anyone else of supporting that guy of non-compassion can go screw themselves, right? We've been talking about what's going on in the subways. We've been talking about what's been going on the streets. The mentally ill being left to suffer on the street. The criminally deranged left on the street to attack and push women in front of trains and beat people over the head with pieces of wood. We've been talking about the danger to themselves and the dangers to others for years. And I have nothing but contempt for the outraged leftist who caused this, who ignored this. They are like the person on the subway who just gets on their phone and something like, I wonder, would AOC or anybody on the squad or what's his name, Chris Hayes, anybody like that, would they actually step in, right? I have to wonder, would they actually, would they see somebody being menaced by a violent felon? Would they actually try and intervene, or would they decide not to share the risk and just step away? Because metaphorically, that's what they've been doing for the last 5 years. So they're disgusting. If anybody says this is like George Floyd, no, it's because of George Floyd. Because since George Floyd, we've had the resulting chaos, the defunding, the emasculation of the police, egged on by the squad, by the media, by different media outlets, except CNN. That created the pathway and a void where you saw fewer police, and who had to fill the void, and we predicted this. Citizens were going to fill the void. We were going to talk. We didn't use the V word because everybody hated that word. But what was going to happen was there was going to be a moment where somebody has to make a choice. So about those bystanders, I think there were 3 guys, and I don't think they were all white, right? I don't know. They had to make a decision on their own. There was no police. They were adult men. It was on them, a chance to act, and they chose to act. And I support the fact that they thought people were in trouble. The left has emasculated law enforcement. These are the only people you can rely on. The message is, if you can't rely on them, you can't even take the subway anymore. This was a textbook person that would have been helped by the $800 million that somehow disappeared, right? Yep. There's money in this city for the homeless. What did the de Blasios do with it? This guy had 40 arrests, violence. He was a danger to others, and when he's a danger to others, he becomes a danger to himself, right? But they didn't give a shit about him. None of the liberals gave a damn. They didn't, because this was crime to them became a political idea. So screw you when you're on the subway, and then finally they find a crime and they can manipulate it. But this is not the start of the story, right? This is the end of the story. The political cowardice, the negligence, the vicious anti-police rhetoric, the criminal coddling brought us here, right? This story has been going on for years.
Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York.